Hi everyone, it's Stephie here, and I am back today with another process video using TSK Sage and BPK Asher. And once again, I am using Instax photos of my little puppy Marvin. I have actually cut up 2 frames there and then I think stapled them together to make a new one so I've got the stripes on one side and the gold on the other. I've also cut into the beautiful grey wood grain paper as a backing, and I will warn you now, on this layout I went for a bit of extreme layering. I wanted a bit of dimension off the page, and there are just loads and loads of layers. I am really happy with how it turned out. And that greeny bluey paper there, I wasn't really sure about that, to be honest, but I've actually added a corner, and as you can see I've stitched it using my sewing machine with a bit of a scallopy pattern. Is scallopy a word? It doesn't sound like it's a real word. You know what I mean anyway. And I'm trying desperately to distress the edge of that, and it's not really working. I have, I don't know what you call it. I think it's actually called a distress tool. It's a little handheld thing with notches all the way around, and you sort of run it along the edge of the paper and it distresses it all, and I cannot find it anywhere. So we did try using a sanding block, but the results weren't as good. And you have to forgive me as well, I'm a little bit bunged up today. My husband kindly shared his cold with me, which I'm not best pleased with. So yeah, I am just using again a bit of foam to add a bit more dimension, and I use a lot of hot glue on this layout just to make things stand up a little bit more than just using tape. So again, I'm using those lovely wooden arrows from Cedar Lane, and I love this fabric tag that says love you, and I know right from the start that I want to use it, but it does move around quite a bit. A lot of things on this layout do actually. That washi tape with the red hearts and the text in black says love is from American Crafts. It is in the Scrappery store, and it comes in a pack of 2 with a gold glitter tape, and I do actually use that on this layout as well. And I pull out a lot of labels and tabs and ephemera to add my layers on here, and I do just chuck anything anywhere and fit as much in there as I can. That lovely heart with the gold foiled, the gold foiled hello it says, and I've got you as well, and I'm playing around with where to put it. I'm very indecisive on this layout. A lot of things move a few times. So I do play around with that speech bubble and decide it just doesn't work. I think it was too pink really for this layout. It is very black and blue, this layout, which is most unlike me. Everything is normally pink and gold. There is some gold on here, so I'm happy with that. But this kit was not as girly as the previous ones, but I find it much easier to use something if it's not the style I would normally pick myself, because I don't feel attached to it. I don't have a problem cutting papers up and using loads and loads and loads of things on one page, because I'm not saving them, I'm not particularly attached to them. And I find when that happens, and it's what I love about kits, I find they end up being the layouts that I love the most, because I haven't held myself back at all. I've just used absolutely anything that came into my hands. So I'm adding loads. There's little tabs and there's a circle on the left which I can tell you does not end up there. That moves. Everything moves. And I've just taken it, it's a white label with a gold foiled edge, and I've stapled onto it another label which is pre-printed, knew this would happen. And it's because the photos, and I do actually write on here, I got a new rug in my craft room, and when I work from home it's also in this room, so we spend a lot of time in here. And as soon as the rug arrived, Marvin just showed he definitely approved, made himself very comfortable perched on the rug. So just wrote a little bit about that. And more hot glue. I love my sticky thumb wireless glue gun, and it does use a lot of batteries, but my husband got me some rechargeable ones, so I can just charge them up, and that's not a problem. But it's so much easier using hot glue, and I never used to use my old glue gun because I had to plug it in and the cable was really short and it wouldn't reach, and all sorts of other excuses. But this one's so easy because it's battery operated. So I wasn't watching at all what I've done. I really want to use this tag, which is from Hello You, possibly. I got it from the Scrappery store in a set of tags, and I really want, and that heart as well was in the same set. I really wanted to use them, but they just didn't feel right. I really like the square cluster I've got going on there, and it just made it a bit too wide adding that tag as well. I also added some of the enamel stickers from the Heidi Swap sticker sheet, which actually might have been in the PLK, not 100%. And I added a couple of those hearts from the memorandum puffy stickers, although looking at the finished layout, either they fell off or I took them off because they're not there now. There might be one actually. One's still there in the O of the Love You. I've added some stickers for the sticker sheet, the gold leaves, some arrows, and there's actually a diamond which I just cut in half and used as another little tab sticking out on the left. I literally went through the whole kit and just used everything without even thinking. And as you can see now, I even cut up the packaging on the sticker sheet and used that. Although that's something else that's going to move, because that does not end up on the top. I was so indecisive with this layout. The number of things that moved round. It helped the distress look because they all looked a bit battered while I moved them around that many times. But yeah, I actually really enjoyed this layout. I loved these kits when I saw them, when they were released. And when it arrived, a couple of the papers I thought, they're not my colours. I'm not sure what I'm going to scrap. But yeah, it's worked really well for layouts of Marvin, and I actually went through a phase of doing loads of him and hadn't done as many recently, so that was really good. And just there I cut up another frame and I cut the edges, so I've got, it's the scalloped frame. I've got one side on the top, one side on the left, and then another bit I have used hot glue to attach on the bottom of that fabric tag. So I don't like to waste things. And I think I said in my last video, I used to hate frames. I don't like frames as a frame, but how I've used them here, cutting them up to use layers, I've really enjoyed doing that. And I really like the effect I've got from it. So if there's something in a kit that you don't like, just remember there's probably another way to use it. Just anything you don't like, use it for layering. Works for me. Anyway, that's my layout. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back again soon. Bye.